What is up? We are wrestling maniacs out there worldwide. It's the best one, Donnie here, back with a brand new episode of Wrestling Hot Takes, where I give you guys my hot takes on things going on in the professional wrestling world. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course you already know, the grind is real. And earlier today, the Pro Wrestling Illustration have released their new edition of the top 100 tag teams. Usually the list is top 50, but this year they decided to expand and give us their top 100 tag teams in professional wrestling in 2022. And of course, I'm not going to cover all 100 tag teams because most of them I have not heard of, because of course, with the Pro Wrestling Illustration, they like to, give us wrestlers from all over the world, all different wrestling promotions, including the independent circuit, which I really do like because I do support indie wrestling, but it would take us a very long time to cover all these tag teams, and we are going to be, knocking it down to the top 10, and I want to give you guys my thoughts on this because, of course, a lot of, the maniacs out there have been giving mixed reviews about this top 10 list. A lot of people are really upset with FTR not being number one on this list this year, and I want to give you guys my hot takes on, the top 10. And from the first glimpse, I looked at this list, not gonna lie to you guys, I really thought that there were some tag teams that really got freaking robbed. Like, I have the list here on my computer, and some of the teams, for me, that, really, I feel like got robbed. One of them, we have Toxic Attraction at 14. I feel like they've done a phenomenal job in NXT with the women's tag team division. They definitely should not be number 14. And then, you got number 18, Swerve in Our Glory, which, yes, some of us, including myself, have not been the biggest fans of them as a tag team, but with the Pro Wrestling Illustration, they talk about records mattering, and these guys have been dominating all year as a tag team, and they are ranked number 18, which is friggin' absurd to me. It makes no absolute sense at all. And then, of course, at number 20, you have the Acclaimed, which is absolutely crazy because they friggin' got over. They probably would have been 60 or 70 last year. This year, they have turned it up, and they are the most over tag team right now in professional wrestling, besides number 1 and 2. And number 1 and 2, the Usos are number 1, number 2 is FTR. And the Acclaimed, they are right there. But I already know the Pro Wrestling Illustration, they usually have a start time and an end time, and the Acclaimed probably didn't get over at that point when the thing ended, but still, I feel like it's still a robbery that they're number 20, because I'm kind of looking at it right now. But for the year of 2022, there's a lot of mixed reviews about the Usos being number 1, and I believe last year previously they were ranked number 4, and number 1 actually last year was the Young Bucks, and this time around, the Young Bucks went from being number 1 to number 8, which I think is actually a fair spot, because the Young Bucks haven't really been doing regular tag team matches. They have been doing more stuff in the trios division with All Elite Wrestling. But when it comes down to number 1 and 2, FTR, the Usos, I think it's definitely, it could go both ways. Personally, I am a way bigger FTR fan than I am the Usos, but if I'm looking at it like the statistics and really analyzing everything, the Usos, they truthfully deserve to be the number 1 tag team. And it has nothing to do with FTR's talent whatsoever, because I think that FTR is right now the greatest tag team in professional wrestling. But we really have to look at it from all the perspectives. We have to look at it from, the talent. We have to look at it from the booking. We have to look at it from the amount of matches they have wrestled, the wins and loss records. All of that matters when it comes down to it. And truthfully, the Usos right now are having the best run in their career, and I think they have hit their ceiling with this run. And I really don't see them going any higher than they are, because right now in the WWE, they are at the top, the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history. And right now, they are in the most popular storyline in professional wrestling sports entertainment with the Bloodline. Roman Reigns was even number one on the Pro Wrestling Illustration top, 500, which I feel like rightfully he deserves to be because he has had the best career so far. And I am not the biggest Roman Reigns fan. I have criticized his work a lot. But this run with the Bloodline, all the people that are in this Bloodline, they are having the best runs in their careers right now. Sami Zayn is more popular than he's ever been. Solo Sikoa, he is going to be a future star in this business. The Usos right now are the greatest tag team in the world, and Roman Reigns right now is probably the most popular wrestler. And for me, I realized that when I went to Survivor Series, which, if you guys, want to check out my Survivor Series vlog, I went out to Boston and watched it. Really good. But when it comes down to it, Roman Reigns, there's something about him this year that is just different. Just like the Bloodline. The Usos this year have been incredible. And this is their best run yet, and I think that the Usos have always been a very talented tag team, but this year they really stepped up, and they have really, stepped up, and I think they've proved to a lot of people that they are one of the greatest tag teams in wrestling, period. And I feel like, FTR, I'm not going to take away anything from them, because, of course, they've had an incredible year, winning the AAA Tag Team Champions, the ROH Tag Team Champions, also the IWGP Tag Team Champions. FTR has been going all over the world, wrestling in all these different promotions and putting on 5-star classics with half of these teams that are even on this list. And FTR, continues to prove to people that they are the best tag team. But for me, unfortunately, the reason why I gotta keep them at number 2, it all comes down to the amount of matches that they have had compared to the Usos and the booking. And it really comes down to the booking. I can care less about the amount of matches that they've had because they've both of these tag teams have put on banger matches and has made tag team wrestling watchable this year. And I feel like, tag team wrestling is finally getting better than it was. But when it comes down to it, booking-wise, Tony Khan has really fumbled the bag with FTR. Because for me, it's mind-boggling. Like, it blows my mind that in New Japan, FTR is getting booked better than AEW. It blows my mind that FTR is doing better in AAA than they are in AEW. It blows my mind that FTR is putting on all of these classics at independent wrestling shows all over the world. They're being used better than they are in AEW. It's pretty sad. I believe at All Out, they had a 6-man tag match. I think it was Jay Lethal and Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR and Wardlow. That's what you do with the best tag team in the world, Tony Khan. You put them in a 6-man tag match. The problem is, with FTR, and this is why they can't be number 1, it's because of you, Tony Khan. Because unfortunately, when it comes to being number 1 on any type of pro wrestling list, they need to be booked properly. There's a reason why Kenny Omega was previously number 1. He had, one of the best professional wrestling runs as the AEW World Champion, even as the IWGP World Champion. And unfortunately, with FTR, Tony Khan is the reason they're number 2. And it's crazy to me. All these other promotions, FTR, is, killing it out there. And I feel like if they only were, on a contract where AEW allowed them to only do AEW shows, FTR would probably not even be number 2. And I love FTR. I love the tag team, Cash and Dax. And I actually got to watch one of their tag team matches at this big-time wrestling show, which I do have a vlog on the channel if you want to check that out. FTR with Bret Hart by their side. They went against Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson with Arn by their side. And let me tell you, that was an incredible tag team match. And when it comes down to it, I just feel like FTR, the reason they're in this position is because of TK, and it sucks. Because FTR definitely deserves a lot better. And it's crazy to me. Like, I look at these, groups on here. I look at all of these, tag teams on here. I think, the Briscoe brothers, they should not be number 3. I feel like they haven't done enough this year to, keep them at number 3. I feel like, they should be down a little bit more. Death Triangle, they've had an incredible year. They're at number 4. I feel like they deserve that. RK Bro at number 6. I think, that's fair. They've had a good run. Personally, I'm not a big fan of RK Bro, but, the fans are, and they've had a pretty good run. But here's the one tag team that kind of really, I don't understand why they are at number 11, and that is, Aussie Open. I feel like they've also had an incredible year this year, and I feel like some of these teams that are in the top 10 shouldn't even be on there. Aussie Open has done an incredible job this year putting on classics. They did a lot of stuff with AEW with the Forbidden Door. They've gone to Impact. They've wrestled, for New Japan. They have been going all over the world putting on classics. And I feel like number 11, that is just, disrespectful. This is really not the best list at all, and it's absolutely crazy to me to see this. I'm very disappointed. I do think the Usos deserve to be number 1, and I feel like, we need to acknowledge that. But let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts were on, the Pro Wrestling Illustration Top 100 Tag Teams list. One thing I will say, I was very happy to see, this independent tag team I watch at Northeast Wrestling, Waves and Curls. They actually made it on this list at number 65, which I feel like, if they continue to keep working hard, they will get there closer. Unfortunately, one of the guys got injured at a recent show, and I wish him nothing but, a speedy recovery. But if you guys enjoyed this, random episode of Hot Takes, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Please let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on, the tag teams that were ranked in this. You think, a certain tag team got robbed? Let me know. Links down in the description below. You can go follow me on my social medias and other YouTube pages. All that down below. In addition, you can go support We Are Wrestling by following us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over.